As always, once again, now and hopefully for a long time, this is What It Takes Radio. We're here to help you reach your audience. And we are in the transformation zone once again today, and we're talking about something that'll be very important in the election time. Here we go. Right now, Donald, tell me who you got. Right now, Kamala, tell me who you are going to keep. Mr. Trump, tell us who will be on your team. Ms. Harris, who will be the people you will have to counsel and advise you? Hey, we really would like to know. Greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Friday. Friday is a future day. We think about the future. It's a leadership day. It's also a day where we plan to make sure that we're taking some days of rest, reflection, relaxation, and restoration in the coming weekend, and perhaps taking time to figure out what is important. And many of us find that's time to do some time of worship, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, whichever day that rings for you. Hey, we are in the transformation zone. This is again part of Interesting Ideas. About this week, we have been using this week of Interesting Ideas because we are then transferring some of our information and relationships to a new podcast, information that is helpful to those who are specifically looking not just for interesting ideas. We're always doing that. But very specifically, those of us who are looking for ways to be different, maybe significantly different. Maybe we're looking for ways to not only transform our own lives, but see if we can to be instrumental in transforming some of the things of our world, the world, and certainly helping each other live, perhaps fully alive, transformed lives. As one of my friends always says, and I repeat it often, we're not only different in degree, maybe we are different in kind. As one person went through a significant transformation, just simply did what many have done in the past. He changed his name. He said, I'm different now. I'm different now. I'm the same person, but I'm very different now. And it's so different that I'm even adopting a name change. Some of my other friends have just had a nickname they decided to use to identify the fact that they are going through an SGE, a significant, good, graced event, SGE, or significant God event. What they're saying is we have no real regrets about the past. There are things like we do that normally we would have liked to have done differently, but we are going to live profoundly different. Maybe that's a little bit of who you are. If so, we would love to do the little magic music of the old Rod Serling time and say, hey, welcome to the transformation zone. Today, though, we're going to just give you an idea that I teased you with the other day because I think it would be a good transformation and it would be very, very helpful for us right now. We in America, it's less than 10, 11 days until the election. And the campaign in both cases is pretty rough and rugged. Unfortunately, in some cases, the campaign is not about the politics or the situation. Now it has become very personal in many cases where it's not vote for me because I'm great, but don't vote for them because they're bad. Well, that may be the way it ends up being. We vote against somebody rather than vote really for somebody. That I hope won't be the case, but who knows? It's a tough, tough time. That's why I think this idea that my friend Steve that I mentioned came up with, which we called, TEAM, TEAM, the Executive Appointment Model. And the idea is this, that, you know what, Anybody who is full of leadership experience knows how even the smallest leadership role can be overwhelming. And obviously, to be the leader of the United States of America, or a country of size and significance and importance, um, is a massive job. Um, you know, no matter how good, great, and powerful and thoughtful you are, it's overwhelming. So, wouldn't it be nice if we really said, okay, we know you're going to have some people who will come alongside you. They will be the proverbial, maybe what is called the kitchen cabinet, which was an expression that came out of I don't know if it was Hoover or Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, or even before him, maybe Harding, that in effect, their leadership is primarily influenced by people who do not have any official leadership or advisory positions. They're just, kind of like people you meet in the kitchen. Um, that they have people in their lives who are really helping them figure out what to do. But there are significant roles in the role of the cabinet. And what my friend suggests is, why don't we ask them in the days that are right now? Tell us. Uh, Don, um, Trump, um, who you got? Who you got? Don, who's going to do the work with you? And so we ask him to actually go through a number of the positions that he is going to fill and tell us who they will be so we can evaluate them. Oh, who's going to be the Secretary of State? The Secretary of, the Treasury? Who will be the people that we will be voting for? Kamala, are you going to keep some of the people from President Biden's cabinet? Uh, you ran together, you were running together, and your campaign came out of his campaign. And many of those people who are presently in that position, some of them would probably like to keep the job. And since it's of the same party and maybe of the same philosophy, are you going to keep them? Uh, Kamala, who are you going to keep? And then, Kamala, who are you going to select, choose to assist you in obviously the very difficult job of being leader of our country? Don, Trump, who's on your list? Who is going to be one of the people who you trust, depending? You're a big loyalty guy. We know that. But who are these people that you are going to trust for their judgment and trust with very important responsibilities? Who's going to be the Secretary of Defense? Who's going to run the FBI? Who's going to be the Attorney General? Now, previously, Trump did something that hadn't been done before, and I think it was a great idea. I would ask them all to do it again. He gave a list of the people that if he had the opportunity to appoint a Supreme Court justice, there were a list of about 25 of them. Most of them had been chosen or shown to him by a more conservative, as he claimed to be, legal group. And there they were. And they all, there we could see them, who they were, and we could obviously look at what their credentials were, their record, their responsibilities, perhaps do a little research into them. And I think he kind of stuck by that in the appointments he did make, that they all came out of that listing. Well, that's a good start. I, I would like him to do it again. I would like Kamala to tell me, uh, who are the men and women who might be chosen to be Supreme Court in justices in that sense. I just suggest that what is really important is that more and more you see that the executive appointment model, as the leader, as the executive, who are you going to appoint? Now, many of us know, particularly in some of our leadership classes and experiences, that oftentimes a very experienced leader, maybe who has CEO or high C-level qualifications, that oftentimes when they, quote, get the job, they will also say, okay, and I'm going to bring my people with me. That means he or she might have a administrative assistant, a personal secretary. Uh, they already have a team of people who they trust, and they're going to bring them along, and they're going to join the company. And that means that other people who had those positions are probably going to be put out of the way. Sometimes the chief executive officer will make it clear to to perhaps the board that there are certain people on the present leadership team that he's going to unappoint, that he's going to remove and perhaps appoint others. Yeah, we need models, and we need ways to come up with systems that will help us all be better leaders. And so I'm going to really say, that's something, obviously, it would be rather interesting. Now, here's a good thing. Actually, if either one of them would do that, it would allow them to do something very significant. Let's say one of them decided that, starting on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of the week before, that they are going to appoint 5 different people. Well, that means that for sure on every one of those days, they will be able to have a significant impact on the news cycle. And then, in effect, they are able to perhaps have their story, the story of their colleague to be. And so the press and the world is focused not necessarily on the campaign stuff and the campaign bad stuff, but they'll be focused on some of the people that are part of the team. It would probably be a significant way of lowering the temperature in some respects, and of course, giving all of us a way to make a better choice as to the men and women who, because it will be, hopefully, a significant group of very talented and diverse people who will be chosen and be a part of the executive appointments that will happen. Well, that's all I want to talk about today. I'm going to take the weekend off and get ready to do some more work understanding how artificial intelligence will begin to transform, maybe not our lives. Um, we aren't going to be transformed by some technology, but it can help us transform some of the ways we do business, and that may give us time and energy to really think more and more about who we are, what God has called us to be, what we are made for, what gives us great joy. It may give us more time to reflect on who we should become and who we should serve and what kind of loyalties and priorities we can put in our life. It will certainly allow me in my business to be far more, take away all that stuff work, be much more reflective, and I hope a little more gentle. I need that. Certainly, I could use a little more humility, um, a touch of that, and perhaps maybe even a heavy dose of that would be good for me from time to time. Perhaps it will mean that I will do more listening and less talking. That would be good for me. It really would be. I need to do that. Just ask my wife. So maybe those are the things that the transformation technology will allow us to do It might just allow us to be less like a robot and actually help us to be more human. And wouldn't that be nice? I could use that. I could use it now. Perhaps you could too. Best and blessings on us, and may God guide us and direct us in what we should do and the directions that our business, our company, um, our state, our governments, our nation, maybe even the leaders of the world should take. Let's think, hope, and pray for some really significant transformations in the year that is before us. 2025, let's make it a really good, maybe even a great one. Best and blessings to us all. Till next time for interesting ideas and the coming transformation zone. I'm Stan Houston, Stan the radio man and the coach man, helping you perform at your best and be able to reach your audience and bring your message to life. Be useful, be more useful, maybe thoughtful, and may you have a business that is profitable. Take care and bye for now.